This is a one-sided discussion about the book House by Frank Peretti and Ted Dekker. So if you have not read it and you hate spoilers, then do not listen to this video, because House is somewhat of a classic and it was released a long time ago. So since it's not a new book, I figure most people who are into Christian horror will have already read this title anyway and would be willing to share their opinions. So listen in and give your opinion about this novel. Okay, House is about Stephanie and Jack. They're a married couple and they are going to a marriage counseling session because Jack wants to. Stephanie doesn't want to go to the marriage counseling session, but she goes because she wants to pacify Jack. Stephanie is a country singer and she tries to hide the pain from their failed marriage by singing songs and doing concerts at clubs. Jack is a writer and he desperately wants to save his marriage to Stephanie. While they're on their way to their counseling session, they get lost and they're stopped by a cop, Officer Laudale. He is intimidating, but tries to get them back on their way. While they continue, their tires are slashed on purpose by some weird contraption in the road. They go to the only building around, an abandoned inn. Since they are so far away, their cell phone service doesn't work. When they arrive at the inn, there are no innkeepers around. At least not at first. They only find Randy, a boisterous businessman who thinks he's a know-it-all, and his companion, Leslie, a psychologist. Randy always tries to act like he's brave, although he's really quivering with fear. Leslie always tries to analyze people and their predicaments due to her psychotic background. Both Randy and Leslie have suffered the same accident as Jack and Stephanie. The tires of their car were slashed. Soon they are joined by Betty, Stuart, and Pete, the family of innkeepers, who later are revealed as demons. As the book moves forward, it becomes apparent that the house is possessed by demons, and the leader, the one who initiates the game, where he will let them out of their house if they give him one dead body. Barsiduous White. He wears a tin mask and locks the house against their escape. As they play this game, it becomes apparent that Betty, Stuart, and Pete are working with White in this game. Around the middle of the book, Stephanie, Randy, Leslie, and Jack go through several cliffhangers to try and escape the house. As they find themselves in the basement, the house shifts several times. And when they think they're escaping, they end up in the same place where they'd started minutes ago. The time shifts also, making minutes seem like hours. The game is supposed to end at dawn. And as they go through rooms with trick mirrors and flooded pipes, they find another victim locked in the basement, Susan. Susan is a young, innocent girl who claims she knows the way out of the house. However, at first, all fail to listen to this girl, and it becomes apparent at the end that she's an angel who comes to show them the power of God is greater than the power of the demons who have them trapped in the house. Only Stephanie and Jack end up accepting the truth at the end, so they are able to escape this weird house due to their newfound acceptance of Jesus Christ. Randy ends up killing Leslie, buying into Barsiduous White's rule that one dead body will guarantee an exit from the demented house. During the course of the story, the demons play mind games with the players. When the players are alone in locked rooms, their minds are tricked into remembering hurtful episodes from their past, things they need to let go of in order to accept God's grace. There are several things that the demons do during the course of the story to keep the reader hooked. Barsiduous White comes around the corner, sporting his tin mask and perhaps carrying a gun. Sometimes the four players are tricked when they see four exact twins of themselves, and the four originals wonder which are real and which are fake. A room floods, and Randy tries Stuart by trapping him in a pipe, trying to drown him. Leslie is trapped in a room with Pete, who wants her as his wife. He bounds her and throws darts at her until she verbally admits to being guilty. Pete also traps Stephanie later on, wanting her for his wife. And when I say wife, I don't mean wife in the literal sense. It's figurative for something else. Stephanie feels abandoned when Jack leaves her in a closet and he goes to try and rescue Leslie. Jack is forced through an open door with a huge forceful current, and the door shuts behind him and he can't get out. Throughout the story, doors open and close of their own accord. The house moans and groans throughout the story. The house also moans and groans throughout the story. There is also trick mirrors in some of the rooms where you see everything reflected in the mirror except yourself. House was a little bit different than my normal reading. So I recommend it to those who do like reading about the darker side of Christianity. You might enjoy this novel. For me, there were too many things going on to keep track of. So I felt that for me to really grasp the whole scope of the novel, that I would need to go through and read it again. And I don't read books again. But there was just so much going on, and the symbolism, it was like off the chain with the symbolism. There was just so much symbolism going on that you have to stop and think about, well, what does this mean? And I think that's what you need to remember when you're reading House. If you enjoy House, or if you enjoy Christian horror, you might want to read my suspense novels. They're not Christian horror, but they are suspenseful. Shades of Chocolate and Southern Comfort are two of my darker books, and I've received many great reviews for both novels. Shades of Chocolate, the heroine is being stalked and she's being threatened, and she just needs somebody to help her. But she doesn't lean on Jesus, so it's a journey for her to try and find Jesus. And then in Southern Comfort, the male main character, is blind. So he has a lot of struggles, but he does lean on Jesus. And then the heroine in Southern Comfort, she's a victim. And she struggles with raising her daughter by herself. She's been through a lot. She's got a lot of personal pain that she needs to overcome. And the hero helps her do that. So check out both novels if you like suspenseful reads. Thanks for listening to this video in its entirety, and I hope you have a great day.